Good morning, everyone. Very much to the NPSD and staff for setting the board. I'm very glad to be here. Well, I'm going to talk about this assessment and sources for engineering students. Okay, so first of all, what is key assessment? Okay, it has been known that also with some other names such as online assessment, computer-based testing, and of course, main characteristic is that it works with technology. Another very important feature of it is that it not only evaluates knowledge, but also skills change. This study documents the application of e-assessment in two different types of courses with different modalities, different number of students, which as we're going to see in a moment. And the conditions that we are presenting were changing depending on each course. It's not properly a comparison therapy, it's just a description of these two courses. What are these two courses? Okay, the first one is statistical analysis course. In this case, we include some types of regression, especially linear and multiple linear regression, and some basics of time series. On the other hand, the linear algebra curve is a second linear algebra curve. So first, take something about the matrix theory, determinants, basics. Here it's more advanced. It includes vector spaces, unit transformations, and eigenvalues. So as you can observe, we have consultants, consultants. Now, a short description of each one of the courses. In the case of the statistical analysis course, okay, it's a second semester from what we call the common core. You know, the subject that every engineering student is supposed to take, common core. It has a duration of 20 hours on 5 weeks. We have two 2-hour sessions every week. And the most interesting part of this or a very special course is called the Elite Flexible Digital. It is an online synchronous course which is broadcasted via the Zoom platform. Okay, the interesting part is it reaches about 100 students distributed in 5 campuses. Okay, the same purposes. The Tecnologico de Monterrey is a multi-campus system in Mexico. It has more than 20 campuses, students in different cities. And the idea of this course is that a set of professors, leader professors, in fact, have impact on students from all campuses. And due to the nature of the course, you have by course, singles and course, it's not easy to control the students, right, by one person. So what we do is we have a team. It's the head professor and the mentor professors. What's the difference? Okay, the mentor professor, the head professor is the one who is in charge of literally giving the lecture. He prepares the presentation, prepares the exercises, and is conducting the sessions. On the other hand, mentor professors help to control, for instance, the access session, to give tutoring, to grade exams and assignments. Okay, so for the professor only is dedicated to give the lectures. Okay. And what about the linear algebra course? Okay, in this case, it's let's say a traditional course in the country Mexico. It's a third semester as well in the common core. Same duration, 20 hours, not 5 weeks. But now it's, as I said, a traditional course. Next to some person course, it's just about 30 students. That's what. And therefore, it's just one professor. You can observe very different process. Next, we're talking about the e-assessment application. So, what tools did we use for this application? Okay, first of all, the Canvas LMS platform. And this is one of the most important platforms used, at least in North America. Okay, many universities use this platform. We call that in this case you have a repository where you can upload your presentation, kind of like this is assignments and exams, announcements, traffic attendance, for instance. So many different things. Then the respondents look the browser, as the name says. It's a special software designed to literally lock the screen in the computer. I mean, when a student is working on an online exam, having at that moment, right? He or she can move to another screen or another application, and that's it. So the browser what does is blocks the session so that the student can move to any other application. Okay, this is a very interesting application. And another important tool that we use was the website element of it, but it was especially designed for STEM courses, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Okay, and it is very it uses an instance textbook or a set of textbooks, and you can design a homework assignment by taking directly exercises from the textbook, or sometimes you can even include your own exercises. The interesting part is that students get immediate feedback. They obtain a grade at the moment. That's fantastic. Okay, but probably the most important part, evaluation. Okay, in the case of the evaluation, we have different instruments. In the case of the statistical analysis course, remember, I'm applying synchronous course. I have to emphasize it because it's very special. Of course, everything was digitized, and as you can observe there, business, homework assignments, final project. You know, we don't have a final project in this kind of subjects, and two asynchronous argumentative exams. Okay, all of them were in the Canvas LMS platform. In this case, we have choices. So we do like this. And on the other hand, we evaluate as well in Monterrey contexts of skills, such as, for instance, communication skills, writing skills, social problems, teamwork, for instance, these types of competences. And about the linear algebra course, it's a little different. Remember, it's an in-person course. And so you have first homework assignments. We work then directly the website platform, the platform that I said is about the design for STEM courses. Then the quizzes, we apply 2 quizzes, one in the website platform and the other one becomes directly in the Canvas on this platform. We also had in-class activities. They were literally in the classroom. And it was very useful in this case because professor had the opportunity to interact with students, which in the online course, of course, so in class activities where they work in teams, they solve 2 or 3 exercises maybe classroom, and that the interesting part is the opportunity of the professor to supervise, let's say, students' work, and he or she can help them at any moment. And I think the students learn a lot with this. We only have 1 argumentative exam, which was at the end of the course. In this case, it was in the classroom. But we had the need to do it in the classroom because the idea was to confirm what they learned, okay, during the course. And same situation as with the statistics course, we evaluate competencies by using the human platform. Okay, what results did we get? Okay, first of all, in the case of the statistics course, of course, the reactivity was less, what you mentioned. However, there were some not graded activities. They helped a lot as formative assessment. For instance, let me tell you about this. During a class, the basic idea in the online course was, okay, the professor introduces the topic, then he gives an example, please, and then leaves an exercise, and the exercise was solved by the students in teams. In the Zoom platform, they use breakout groups. They get together, try to solve the exercise, then we return to the plenary session, and and the professor chooses a random team to present results. Okay, and then what happens? Okay, everybody checks if the results okay, if they are with the result, if not, okay. Feedback is allowed, of course, corrections, okay. And we perform a short hypothesis testing, verify there were difference between homework assignments and exams. The homework assignments, the average was 80, and the exams, 88. Okay, of course, when we performed the statistical proof, we found that effectively there was a statistically significant difference. Well, you can see that that's inside, right? That's a lot of difference, but we prove the statistic. Okay. On the other hand, the case of the linear algebra course, okay, in this case, there were both types. Remember, digital and non-digital activities. It was a combination. And in the case of the e-assessment, we compare as well homework assignment versus quizzes in this case. And you can observe in this case that the average was almost the same. And as you can imagine, when you perform the hypothesis testing, what happens, there is not a significant difference. Okay, so observe that different results. So conclusions. Well, independently of the course formula, it was feasible to apply. Yes. Right. If probably it was possible to apply it in one course or in person. In the case of the online course, it helped a lot as formative and summative to improve the formative and summative performance. Was fantastic in case because you remember it was a huge increase in the average, the evaluations. In the case of the in-person course, it helps us to diagnostic and interpret function in the sense that you have a face-to-face interaction. That's the little advantage here in the person course. And in both cases, it was possible to evaluate competences or skills. That is the platform. Well, what about the future work? Well, of course, technology advances really fast, right? So we have to be aware of the new emerging tools. Yeah, of course, even though here I just say, but it's explicit, they use all AI, right? AI is mandatory nowadays. Okay, however, we have to be careful with this because, as the previous lecturer said, we cannot depend completely on artificial intelligence, and you have to make sure that the artificial intelligence tells you, okay, right? So you have a certain knowledge, verify that the answer that gives you are correct. Okay. But well, I think that's it. Thank you very much.